So right now we're currently going to be going over the DIY Payone files that's currently in my shop. Um, you will be getting 7 files, 6 STL and 1 zip file. The zip file is everything that's in the that's the STL. It's in the zip file. So you'll get the credit card, and when you are importing it into Tinkercad, do not change the size, just import it as is, and you'll be importing 6 files. A slot in the middle, export, the solid, and don't worry about remembering this, because I'm screen recording this. I'm going to drop it in the tube so that you can rewatch the video as you're working on it too. Let me see. Oh, no problem. Okay, so you will get the wand with the point, and then the wand without the point, the credit card, the additional parts to the credit card, and the middle part. One is going to be with a solid piece like this, and then one is going to be that has a slot to it. You are going to turn the solid piece into a hole. Just copy a couple of those so you have extras of those, and you will also turn your credit card into a hole too. So those are the only ones you'll turn into the hole. And your image, you can probably reuse any of your image that you would like. And I have still questions about like how do we know what size it is that we want to do our credit card, where the credit card sits. Well, I would usually just recommend you put your your wand itself down here, right? And you'll probably have to enlarge the image and see how big it is you want it to be. And right now, I think my image is going to be huge. This might not be a good image, because if that's your image, this is your credit card right over here. You can kind of see the credit card on the side, but that's okay though, because we're going to be using that extra credit card piece right over here to kind of hide the credit card. Let me just lay this back down at 90 degrees and drop it. Sorry, home, top down, home, top. And just move this out just a little bit so you can see. You know what, here, I'll just move everything so it's in the middle. So this I'm going to move up. Don't move side to side, move up and down. So it will be probably somewhat right over here. Okay, so I'm going to move that. Oops, I didn't even group that together. So I'll move the credit card off to the side, this off to the side. I'm going to copy and paste this as an extra one, and I'll remove this part right over here where I will be working with the base. And let me move that out of the way. I wonder what I did with this. I wonder if this is, let's see, is that is that right there. Okay, I'm gonna bring this over, that extra, delete that extra goose right there. This part right over here at the bottom, align it at the bottom, and I think I'm going to, that's the goose. I just want to see where I want to put the credit card, because I want it someone in the center. And then don't forget to turn off your snap to grid if you haven't already, so you can have more control over it. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it that way. And you are going to turn this part right over here to 6. So that's that extra part should be here at 6 already. The goose needs to be at 6 millimeter. You are going to select both of this together, and you are going to union group it. Then I'll turn it back into white, and you'll bring your credit card slot. See closer, front. I'll put it in the middle. That's in the middle right there. You can't really align in the middle, so if you hit align, you can't really align in the middle, because when it thinks the middle is from here to here, so the middle could be, you know, like a little bit off centered. So I'm just trying to align to this part right here, so I have to eyeball it myself. But I can align in the middle, like, so it's hovering in the middle. So you hit align and you just hit the middle part, so now you can kind of see the credit card slot is in the middle. And you are going to select, and you're going to group them, and now your hole for the credit card is there. And next you are going to sit the goose up, hit D so it sits on the work plane, bring in your, so now this is where it's going to be tricky. Both of this together if possible. Click, click, because you can't really hit center right away, because how we did it, we kind of eyeball it. So you are going to need to group this two together and work. So I'm going to eyeball it like that right there. Okay, and then what you're going to do is, right now you can see that the blue is selected, but we don't want the blue, right? We want I bundle group it. Let's see. Ungroup it. Okay. So right now it's the hole that's selected. So I'm gonna, once it's selected, hit D so it drops to the bottom. I'm going to hold the shift key so I can just move it straight to wherever it is that I want to. When you hold the shift key, it will move straight back or to the side or to the left, like in a straight line. If you don't hold it, it might be off center just a little bit, and then you're gonna align it. You're gonna align it in the middle, and then you are going to group it. So now you have the hole for the credit card, not credit card, the handle, the swivel, where it's swivels to close. Drop that down, and what I'm going to do next, I won't move it, but I will just hold it. I'm going to align it right away, so it just moves straight back, and I'm going to group it and turn that white. Okay, so now I have my pay one where my handle is going to go. Okay, but I just thought of something. We'll figure this out right now. So now we are going to work on adding the image. However, this image right now, there are feet on here. We don't want to cut off the feet. You want to be able to kind of see the feet too. So what we're going to do first, let's get our goose to the size that we need to get to. So 1 is for the first layer, and then let me just remove those extra things that I did for that. And then, you know, I think this is gonna, let me just go this way first. One, but you can see right away not everything is going to be at one. Something's going to be slightly higher. So the blue, I know you do one on the blue, the yellow one. Make sure all of your objects are at 1 millimeter, right? And so you're going to drop it onto your work plane. D, D, and D. Now everything, when you look at it front view, everything is on one level. So I'm going to temporarily bundle group it, and I'm going to lift it up 90 degrees and get on the work plane. And then I'm going to use my work plane and select that surface right there so my goose can sit there, and I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to aligned in the middle and at the top. And so you see that middle part right there is in the way. So what you're gonna do, there is a couple things you're gonna do. The first thing you're gonna do, it's just that there's a couple different steps. Let me just get that out, get this in here, get that extra a middle piece right over here, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. Let's see, I think this right here is good, and I'm going to take that image, move it off to the side, move this off to the side. I'm going to copy and paste, so I have another copy here, and I'm going to group that one. Okay, so you know it's cut into the shape of that, so we're gonna move that off to the side, and let's work on this one right over here. So for this, you want, see how there's black and yellow, so you want to be able to see both of them here. I'm going to remove, let me see, ungroup that part, remove my white, and let me just take out the blue. Okay, delete this out of the way. You're going to turn this into a solid. So go up here, so how you have a hole and you have a terracotta color, that's what I'll do. You're going to click on the goose leg. So you're going to do top, you know, here, let me just, because what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to expand the goose leg, right? You just expand it, and you're going to expand the goose outline. Okay, and then what you're going to do next, you are going to center both of them together. You can see how you need to expand it even more. You don't want to see the terracotta. Whatever it is that you're coloring needs to kind of maybe since you're only doing both, maybe it just needs to be both. Hold on just a second. See, because I don't think I want to do it all the way, because I don't want to show it on the front side. So maybe we do it to the middle part, which is right there. And then you are going to hold the two image together. It's not hold. Select both image together. You are going to Control D, save it in place, and then don't touch anything else, but just hit the hole. And then you are going to select the middle part, and you are going to group it. Okay, and then what you're going to do next, you're going to gently grab that, copy, you can do copy and paste here, copy and paste. So right now you need to, let's see, I should have made an extra one in the beginning. Just delete that part right there, all the extra pieces. So you are going to, just lost step for this part. Let's see, open that up. Gonna move this so I can see kind of where it needs to end right there. Okay, so the square that you just made, right? Let me try to articulate this. So what's gonna happen is you need to get rid of all this black part, right? You need to get rid of all that black part. The only part that you want to keep is this part right over here, and that part, let me just move it aside. See how it's cut in that shape, and that color, in that shape? Everything's already cut up for it. So you need, so you need to get a hole to erase all the other parts to it. So that's what we're working on right now. So so what we're gonna do is, let me just turn that into a hole so I can see better. I'm going to, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that in the center here. Do it that way, and then I'm going to select that. I'm going, gosh, hold on just a second. I'm trying to line this up with that right there. But maybe, no, it's, I'm just trying to, right here, let me do it this way instead. It's just tricky. This is why you try to choose an image that's, turn that into this, and turn that into that. Drop that to the bottom, select all, and group that together. And now this turns into a hole. So if you put that here, okay, now, okay, so I need to zoom it in correctly, and it's not letting me zoom if I don't put something here so I can see closer. And you are going to, you can like, I don't know if you can see it through your screen, but I can see it where it sits. And so what's going to happen is you are going to select the duck and the big hole that you made, and now it's going to cut every part of it, so you have your feet left right there. So when your feet, where's my black? Did I lose my black? Hold on, let me see, where's my black? Okay, so I'm going, so what happens when you group them all together, that black and that yellow, hello, so the black and that yellow groups together, so you're going to need to do two groups. So let's do a Control D, right? So the first one we'll select the black part of it, and then we'll group it. And then the next one, now I don't even have it. Where's my, okay. I'm gonna move one up, and then I'll drop it. So then I will group that part, so that will cut the black part away, and then I'll drop this that I just pulled up, but I don't have to move everything because it's just dropping straight down. I'll select that together, and I'll group that, and now you have your image on that little itty bitty thing. And so when you go to print, right, so when you go to color, it'll look like, that's not what I wanted. Where did it go? Okay, let me go back to grouping that again. Sorry. Let's see. Control D. Bring that. Where am I bringing up? Just had it. Yeah. The black of the leg disappeared, so I'm trying to get the black leg back. Okay. Select. But I don't want it to leave me. Why am I not seeing this? Black. Okay, the black leg is there. Let me just, before I do that, let me just change that to white. Okay, so the black leg is there. And now I'm going to drop what I did earlier, and I will select that beak, and I will group it. And so now you have the black part and the leg together. So when you go to put your wand, it'll look like that, right? So if you have wordings or whatnot, that's what you'll see. So that means that I have to remove, for right now, let me just bundle group it so I can keep everything together. And let me just remove that part right there. And I will align in the center. And just go a little bit closer to that part right there. In the front, move this out of the way. Get this back up on here, on the work plane, and I'm going to center it and remove that. So when you go to print, this is what you'll print, and when you go to print your front part, that's what you'll print. And then when you glue it together, you'll glue it like that, and then you'll see to my, where's my other one that's sitting? You'll do this part, D. I'll do this again, don't worry. But again, there'll be the video for it too. And then there you go. That's all there is to it. Did that make sense?